Hello everyone, Pasha here, founder of the Cupbearer, and today I'm delighted to share with you one of my all-time favorite cocktails, the Rum Candela. Inside everyone's cocktail kit, you should have a set of tools, mixing glass, spoon that doubles as a jigger with the measuring cup on one side, and a julep strainer, vanilla, brown sugar syrup. 2 mini bottles of Diplomatico rum. It's a fine aged rum, really a delicious rum. Little pouch full of cinnamon sticks, and another little pouch with a mini bottle of bitters. These are Scrappy's chocolate bitters. Aside from these ingredients and tools, we're going to need a few things that aren't in the box. First, we're going to need a rocks glass. Then a little dish, like a little bread and butter dish is just fine. Now, this is a clay ramekin I have, but any small dish will do. Torch, or if you have a lighter at home, which I'm assuming everyone does, that works just as well. An orange, a peeler, and then a lot of ice. I would say about 2 cups of ice. All right. So these are the ingredients in the kit and tools, and these are the items that we don't have in the kit that we should grab before we get going. Now that we have all of our ingredients and tools out in front of us, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab our lighter. We're going to grab one of those cinnamon sticks with our little plate in front of us, and if you have a torch, great. If you have a hand lighter, fine. So let's really singe it. It might take a little longer with a regular lighter, but you'll get there eventually. And we're just going to get this on fire, and then we're going to drop it in our plate. And then quickly, we're going to cup our glass over it. We're going to set that aside while we make our drink. We have our mixing glass in front of us, strainer, jigger, spoon, all right? And we're going to start to build the ingredients in the glass. This is a stirred cocktail. Essentially, it's an old-fashioned. It's a boozy cocktail, and all cocktails that don't have juice in them are cocktails we're going to stir. All right. The reason is we want to preserve that silky texture. There's no juices in there that we need to bring out the vibrance and the flavors, which is what you're doing when you shake a cocktail. It's a straight booze cocktail, which means that we really want to preserve that silky texture. And that's why we stir it, to minimize the amount of air that goes in the drink. First thing first, we put our bitters in there. There's enough bitters for 2 cocktails. The bitters that we're putting in here is basically 1 dash, and that translates to 4 of those little plungers, the droppers. So once the bitters are there, move on to our syrup. This measuring cup, the first line towards the bottom, measures 1/4 ounce. So we're going to pour it just to that point. If you're serving for 2, right, making 2 cocktails, then the line just above it is 1/2 ounce, and that's where you'll want to go. Now, if you notice, there's no ice in this glass. And there's a reason for that. We always pour the ice afterward. That is so that just in case you run out of something or you're looking for something, it's not getting overly diluted, right? Because we're trying to do 2 things and 2 things equally when we stir a cocktail. That's chill the cocktail and dilute the cocktail. This is a 2-ounce pour of rum, and in these little bottles here is just exactly 2 ounces. So let's pour the whole thing out. Okay. Perfect. And then now we add the ice. Let's give ourselves a nice amount of ice here. And now we're going to stir. Okay. Now at this point, we've stirred the cocktail. We have to do what's right. We have to get this drink out of the mixing glass and into the smoky glass as soon as possible. All right. Beautiful. Now this glass is infused with a delicious smoky cinnamon aroma. So is the air. And that brings us to the next piece, which is ice. Because after stirring with that ice in there, that ice is now closer to being water than this fresh ice is. We're ready for our garnish. Get out your peeler and your orange, and let's peel back a long, thick ribbon of orange rind. All right? Beautiful. And we're ready to garnish with our peel. With the rind side facing out and your fingers pinching it, let's pinch the rind into the cocktail. And if you look closely, you can see all of that oil from the rind just splashing over the top of the cocktail, infusing it with that delicious flavor. Next, I like to go once around the rim with the rind. This way, when you pick up the glass, your hands smell like orange. It's kind of nice. It's not going to change the flavor. But next, we drop the rind in, rind side facing in the glass, so that when you go to take a sip, again, those oils are pointed towards your nose. And lastly, we will garnish it with a final piece of cinnamon. Okay? And that's really all there is. The rum Candela, everybody, one of my favorite cocktails of all time. I hope you enjoy. Salud. Damn, that is really good. You guys want to try?